If you've always dreamed about living in an old lighthouse, but you just haven't found it yet, I've got the next best thing for you. It's an 1879 Coast Guard life-saving station. Its views of the Atlantic can't be beat, and it's not too shabby inside either. I'll show you how I would decorate it, if it were mine. It's in Maine, on Little Cranberry Island, or Islefords, southeast point, with views of the Acadia Mountains and other islands. It has 2,000 feet of shorefront, and it can be accessed by ferries that run 5 times daily. The station was the first in its region, established by an act of Congress on June 18, 1878. It was decommissioned as a life-saving station in 1946, and then it was remodeled to become a little bit more family-friendly. It's not winter-friendly though. The station has been most recently used for short-term summer rentals. Now it's on the market, and it comes furnished. It was designed by architect J. Lake Parkinson. He had a bit of a career designing Coast Guard life-saving stations. I didn't know that was a thing until now. And while this room has its original paneled walls and ceiling, this next room is a more recent addition. So if it were mine, I would give it more of a sense of age using this design as inspiration. This one is by Nantucket House Antiques. And I'm not sure if I would add the window muntins, but I would definitely add the wicker and the carved eagle and the antiques. One of the unique things about this station is its central fireplace. It was part of the architect's 1876 Lake Superior design, even though it's not on Lake Superior. And the kitchen obviously has been updated since the 1870s, but the materials still seem appropriate to where it is. The front of the fireplace faces the original living room, which is here. And I could be wrong, but you see that screen in the left-hand corner? I bet those are Fresnel lenses, like what they use on lighthouses, used to make that screen. Now this alcove on the family room looks like it was an addition to the original building, although it could come in handy as a secondary watch post. And it's cute with that games table, but I would turn it into a dreamy lounge spot, like this. Now that brings us back around to the dining room where we came in. Here. The station has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and 3,074 square feet, which is pretty typical of these stations. They usually had 3 bedrooms, a kitchen, the dining area called the mess, and lots of storage space for equipment. This is the keeper's room, and the qualifications for being a keeper meant that you had boating experience, you were a reliable and physically capable person between 21 and 45 years of age, and as a keeper you could earn between $700 to $800 a year, which wasn't too shabby back then. And this is the bunk room that was used by the crew. And the crews of these stations were local volunteers. And before they built these stations, they would have huts of refuge for survivors of shipwrecks, with food and candles and maybe a stove. But sometimes the people didn't do so well even if they made it to the hut of refuge. So a room like this would be a much better option for them. Now this particular tower has a bed in it, which it wouldn't have originally. It's not classified as a bedroom because there's no closet. So because the crew were always volunteers, they would often have trouble with maintenance and damage and equipment misuse. The Parks Department says that competency levels varied a great deal in these stations. but many of them did perform in a very suitable manner, and many lives were saved at these stations. The dedication of these crewmen is summed up by their motto: you have to go out, but you don't have to come back. So thankfully, technology has come a long way since then, both for the ships and for the keepers of this house. And there's more. The property also includes a 2-bedroom, 2-bath guest house, which is here. And along a private access, there's a boathouse and a dock 1.5 miles away. So until I looked at the National Park records, I had no idea they put that much thought into the architecture of these stations, and they kept creating new designs for them. Starting in 1848, they came up with new designs almost every time they built a station, and they varied them by region. Southern stations, for example, often had wide porches, probably so they could enjoy sunsets like this one. So the 1876 design they used for this station in Maine was a pretty popular model. You can see it was used across the country. But if you ask me, I'd say it looks more like the 1879 Michigan design. But I'm not an architect, so Mr. If It Were Mine had a little bit of fun with AI on this because the crew were volunteers, so he made them volunteer posters that are AI generated, and AI has come a long way, but judging by these posters, it still has a ways to go. So on Monday, the crew would practice with Coast Guard beach equipment and inspect the boats. On Tuesday, they would train with the boats. On Wednesday, they would drill with signal flags. On Thursday, they would practice using beach equipment again. And I'm not sure how that man is fitting inside that boat, but anyway. On Friday, they would practice resuscitation, or as Grok calls it, resuscitation, and ignore the man's misshapen torso because you'll notice even our crewman there isn't even looking at it. And on Saturday, they would clean the Coast Guard station. So that just leaves Sunday to put your feet up and enjoy the view. So thanks for watching this video on the U.S. Coast Guard Life-Saving Station. If you liked it, please share and subscribe to my channel. And for more content, visit my website at ifitweremine.com.